I was completely off the mark on predictions of where Buddy Daddies was going, and I am perfectly okay admitting to that, because the darkness that this show is showing us, I mean, yeah, we get a lot of adorable smiles and goofy pouts from Miri, but I mean, Ray's backstory with that dog scene, I can't even show that. I would get probably age restricted on YouTube. I don't remember the last time I saw something quite like that towards an animal. In terms of, I'm trying to avoid it because even describing it, YouTube punishes you for, but you get my point. We get the confirmation of what happened to Kazuki's girl, so I thought, and everything I've been seeing, was that he's been trying to send money to the pregnant girl, and she just wasn't accepting it. Nope, I didn't even notice this on my watch. I only noticed this when I was grabbing screenshots afterwards. We see her, seemingly in a vehicle that exploded, and most likely, the reason he's not with that pregnant girl is because one of his jobs, maybe a target got away, something, basically came and hurt her, so most likely he's trying to send money to the family's not taking the money, because they probably blame him, and he himself blames himself for the death of his loved one. Then you have the whole mother situation with Miri. I was totally expecting her to be dead, and the fact that maybe she just didn't realize, and that's why the mom sent her away. Nope, it's just not a good mother whatsoever. Not to say she has a good life by any means. I mean, her man, as she calls him, is literally abusive and horrible. This show ain't playing, man. Buddy Daddies, I've been saying it a couple weeks straight. This is one of the strongest shows this anime season. Now, before we jump any further, do have a full live reaction to today's episode available on the Patreon if you're interested, so go consider supporting that if you want to see it. But yeah, Buddy Daddies episode 3, we're 3 for 3 with this show getting better and stronger. Now, I have seen some people say Miri is a bit of an annoying kid, and she's not as easy to digest as some other anime kids that we've seen recently. But she is completely realistic. Kids are a bundle of energy and chaos. As someone who has no interest ever having kids, both me and my partner, we have no interest in that whatsoever. However, watching a show like this, I love watching a kid like this because it's fun to watch the chaos happen to other people when you don't have to deal with it. Because yes, they are distracted like that. They will be focusing on one thing and shift to another. They will be throwing temper tantrums. They will claim your beautiful dinner is absolute garbage and they want the preservative BS that some supermarket sells. So yes, there is annoying things that if I was dealing with it in my personal life, I'd be going for smokes and maybe not coming back. But here's the thing, watching it in a show like this, they are directing her as a realistic kid. And I mean, I still say she's seen some things. Now, I thought what she was seeing was maybe her mom die, and that's why she was a little more comfortable with that gunfire last week. I still think, given who her man was, as literally the mom says, she's probably had guns pointed to her, right? It just doesn't feel likely that she is completely oblivious to what is a gun and not. So, I mean, I'm still expecting some dark backstory in that way. But the fact of the matter is, this show is clouded by this colorful aesthetic, these bright poppy colors and fun character designs. And in just the blink of an eye, they can show you a dead dog in the way they did. I honestly don't remember the last time I saw an anime. Not necessarily say like I haven't seen dead animals in anime, but the fact that they went as detailed as they did, not once, not twice, like 3 times we see this dog, and I'm like, what are you doing to me, Buddy Daddies? The first scene of the episode is literally that. I think the thing that caught me by surprise the hardest, though, was actually my boy Ray. I mean, he was sleeping in a tub last week. I think it was episode 2 when the first time we see him sleeping in the tub. Maybe they showed in episode 1 as well and I'm just forgetting. But nonetheless, like, why is our boy sleeping there? Like, is it just because he's trying to avoid the girl? But no, like, this dude is just, like, he's got some PTSD. He's, like, basically waiting for intruders at a moment's notice. You have this moment after the credits where our girl basically makes both of her papas sleep with her, right? And he completely passes out just like that. And I think the reason for that was because he just wasn't used to sleeping in a comfortable setting. He wasn't sleeping with pillows, he wasn't sleeping with a blanket, he was just in the tub. So the fact that he immediately passed out, even with an annoying kid kind of like poking you and stuff, it really shows just how depressing his life can be. And I really like what they did with his character because I think he's been a fun character up to this point. But man, to see the depression of what his dad did, the fact that he was 1v1ing dogs back in his childhood, and the fact that his dad wouldn't even let him call him dad, the fact that they tie it together with, I mean, I wasn't expecting this either, mind you. I thought she was fully convinced that the person in the photo was Kazuki, and that's why she was calling him Papa. No, apparently she is under the impression that a father is someone who protects you and is there to save you. So I was expecting they might go depressing in the way that someday she would learn that they killed her biological father and maybe it'd be an emotional heartstring. Apparently that may not be as important as I was expecting. This entire episode ruined any theory or prediction I had, And I have a grin on my face because of that, because I thought I knew the general scope and idea of where the show was going. Apparently I had no idea, and once again I'm saying PA Works does not miss. Honestly, at this point, I may even go as far to say PA Works is my personal favorite anime studio because everything they touch is just gold. It's different, it's distinct, whether they go from your boy Conming to Akiba Maid War to Buddy Daddies, they just literally are exploring workplace series in a much more interesting location. I really am enjoying the family dynamic. You have someone like Kazuki who literally lost his pregnant girl to most likely someone involved in one of these missions, and because of his connection got her killed. Maybe that's a red herring and it wasn't her, and maybe I just misread the situation. It was a little hard to see given it was literally engulfed in flames. That seems to be the direction they're going, so he's haunted by the fact that you can't have emotional connections because you'll get them killed, which definitely paints a picture of why he was trying to bring her back to the mom. But the fact that you have Ray, someone who is just an emotionally abused child from his past and is so just ready to throw down because he doesn't know when someone's going to jump him, so he can't sleep in a bed. That's why he literally makes it look like someone's sleeping there, so if they try to jump him, he can jump them. That's pretty damn depressing. You have a girl who was tossed away by a mom who never seemed to love her, but then again, there could be more than meets the eye there. I'm willing to accept that maybe it's just because she was raised in a pretty shitty and abusive situation that she didn't know how to really treat her, but at the same time she definitely is not winning Mother of the Year award by far. But I mean, it's just so interesting how they're playing with so many little ideas, like the fact that someone like Ray never really had a childhood seemingly, and the fact that him like playing with our girl, just seeing how he like slowly was opening up to him saying come to Papa Ray, and just that emotional scene. The fact that he has the same taste buds as a 4-year-old girl and it just makes Kazuki so upset. This show is absolutely 10 out of 10 if you ask me. I've been a big supporter since my first impressions, episode 1's video, but really, episode 2 made it even better. Episode 3 has took it to that level that I consider it to be one of the strongest shows of the season, and hands down could be one of my strongest shows of the year. There just isn't a lot like it, and I think the fact that they're not trying to give us romance, they're not trying to give us anything other than a family vibe from 3 people who come from 3 different broken situations. A dude who had a pregnant wife and kid seemingly got ripped away from him because of his connection to his job. You have someone who comes from a background of never having a true family love, and then you have a girl who was tossed away by a mother who never loved her and she doesn't know any better. I mean, these are 3 broken people who are about to heal themselves, but it doesn't change the fact that they are in a very violent and brutal situation that could, in return, end up with more death and carnage before it gets any better. And potentially, maybe, we could see something very similar to that exploding car scene towards our new favorite girl. So, it's crazy, man. This show is really, really good. And I might go as far to say, out of the recent PA Works anime that I've seen, honestly, this may get some pushback, but so far, this might be my favorite PA Works they've done in a few years. I'm not gonna lie, and this comes from someone who's been hyping up all the PA Works anime that's been released recently. But I like it. Buddy Daddies is a very pleasant surprise, and I can't wait for more. But I'll pass the torch over to you. What did you think of this episode? Any new theories and ideas, especially if this episode destroyed any ideas you thought you had like myself? Do let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, ring that bell if you want to get as many notifications on the channel as possible, and like I mentioned, full live reaction is available on the Patreon. And while you're there, you can also get yourself a video shout out like a few are about to get here. So we got Fabian, Fang2, and Furno 19Z. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.